Right, time for my final guest of the day. In 2001, the stage musical Closer to Heaven arrived in London's West End. It was narrated by retired rock icon and actress Billy Trix, as portrayed by Frances Barber. This summer, Billy Trix is back in a new show called MUSIK, once again starring Frances Barber. The book by Jonathan Harvey and new music by Pet Shop Boys. And as luck would have it, Frances, Jonathan and Neil Tennant are next after one of the original songs written for Closer to Heaven. We interrupt our gossip to... that was Frances Barber, of course, singing Friendly Fire, which introduces my guests, Frances Barber, Jonathan Harvey and Neil Tennant. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Together again. The gang's all back.
Yeah. Got the band back together.
So, I was describing before you came in about Closer to Heaven being in the West End in 2001. So that, frighteningly, is 18 years ago. How did you come back together again? How did you all decide? Who made the first move?
Well, we went to see
Jonathan Harvey.
Jonathan Harvey viewers, listeners. We went to see a production of Closer to Heaven at the Union Theatre about 3 or 4 years ago. The three of us and Chris, and we really enjoyed it. We were sort of wetting ourselves with laughter because the Union Theatre was so small. It was like someone doing it in your living room. And we just thought we loved the character Billy Trix. Frances was so good at playing her that wouldn't it be great to get back together and see where she was now? I think so it came out of seeing it again and just remembering what a laugh we'd had together. I think.
But then you have to all take it seriously. You have to kind of blank bits out of diaries and you have to actually sit down and write songs. So who coordinated all that? Who was the driving force? Was that Jonathan Harvey again?
I think the driving force was Chris Lowe.
Oh. He's not here
He's not actually
He's
here.
exhausted from it.
It's his fault.
Chris has always been... We always loved this character. Do you know the character came out... It's a very strange gestation because it came out of a dream. I had a dream that Chris and I were recording with David Bowie. And I woke up and David Bowie in my head was singing, "I'm coming under friendly fire." and so I
never have dreams like that.
This became a song. I wrote it down, and this became the song "Friendly Fire." And then Jonathan made the character off the song, and then the character took over the show because it was such a powerful character. And when the show was over, we did start to think, why did we just have a show where Billy Trix just rants on and sings songs? Frances is so amazing at doing it.
So, Frances, is it a one-person piece now?
It is, which I always vowed in my life I'd never ever do because it's so lonely. But the Pet Shop Boys have written 4 new songs. I sing Friendly Fire in it as well to explain how my icon status is now going to disappear because I'm living in a phone box. And there's a disco song. And there's a sort of Lottie Lemper song at the beginning. Lenya. That's Utter Lemper. I've got to they're old German.
Lumpy Lemper.
Lumpy Lemper. And then there's a rather sort of touching torch song at the end where it's, looking toward the future and we'll all be happy, and then she drops off in a fit. So she's a combination of all kinds of icons of the past, old rock stars down on her luck.
And you won't be lonely because you're doing it at the Assembly Rooms in Edinburgh. So, because I know what you mean about that thing big by yourself, but there you leave the theatre and there's just thousands of performers and actors. So,
exactly.
You'll have playmates.
And Ian McKellen's up there as well, who's threatened to come in to my show one night, but I'm going to call security if he does that.
The show, we should say, is called MUSIK with a K. MUSIK opens on August the 5th in Edinburgh at the Assembly Rooms, and it's there until August 24th. And it has adult themes, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I can tell you. That's all I know. That's the only thing. It's written in red.
I don't show my body very much.
It's for grown-ups.
It's for grown-ups. Yes. Don't bring
with a
children.
sense of humour.
Yes. And have you started rehearsing this yet, or
no? We've got 5 weeks, so we kind of start this week.
Okay.
But I've learned all the songs, which is a good start.
Yeah, that's good. But actually, we've been in the studio with Frances recording them, so we know what they're all meant to sound like.
Yes.
And we might put them out to tie in with the show, or we might not. I don't know.
You could have a car boot outside the back there, Neil.
I was thinking that. Yes, we were asking, can you sell merchandise like you can at a rock gig? But I think maybe you can't.
Possibly not.
And is this going to be weird for you, kind of going back to this character 18 years later?
I think so. Although
is it 18 years later?
It is 18 years later, but
in terms of the story.
Well, the story is that I go through the decades of my career.
I see.
So that I came over from Germany on a boat and ended up in Andy Warhol's studio, and he didn't know what to do. He had no inspiration for painting, so I sing him a song about soup, and then the rest is history.
She has an amazing ability to put herself at the centre of important things from history.
Oh, the Forrest Gump of song.
Yes. She probably stopped the Vietnam War War because of her protest song.
Of course, of course. And because you did enjoy Closer to Heaven so much, have you done the book of any other musicals? Have you?
I did a musical about Dusty last year.
Oh, of course you did. Yes.
And I've got some in the pipeline, as they say. But yeah, just Dusty.
And Pet Shop Boys, you weren't tempted to. I mean, your performances are always quite theatrical anyway. But you weren't tempted to do a straight musical again.
We have one or two ideas, but since then we did Battleship Potemkin in Trafalgar Square, which was silent film soundtrack, and we've done the ballet, Most Incredible Thing, and we did a piece of music at the Proms. We wrote about Alan Turing, so we've done things outside pop music. If the right idea came, we were asked years ago to do The Devil Wears Prada. I know the look you've just given me. I
think that's quite a good idea.
I also thought, why didn't we do it?
Really good.
I think Elton's doing it now. These ideas come along from New York, and everyone says it's great. And by the time you thought you might do it, it seems to have faded away again. So
yes,
I don't quite know what happened.
They've lost the rights.
I'd forgotten all about it till I read it. Suddenly it was being the idea was happening.
I've turned down a few things that have been absolutely massive hits, of course, thinking, that'll never work. I'm not bitter.
No. We should also say the original musical that we were talking about, Closer to Heaven, it is coming back to London at the Above the Stag Theatre from July the 3rd till August 31st.
Did you know that? Amazing coincidence. Yeah.
I should also say that contains adult themes
in
red.
That's got more adult themes than the Edinburgh show.
So if you're looking for adult themes,
Hurry
look
along.
for Closer to Heaven. If you're not so hot on adult themes, music in Edinburgh. Yeah.
In the original Closer to Heaven, the dance captain was Louis Spence before he became Louis Spence.
Wow, there's some adult themes right there.
The
one-man
entire
adult theme, really.
thing was adult themes. It was completely wild.
And is the idea, music can music live on? Can music live on? Will it have a life outside of Edinburgh? Is that the plan?
We'd like it to, yeah.
It is. We're in discussions to bring it to London, to a sort of cabaret space in London.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I
isn't
know,
it?
yeah.
Yes.
Late night cabaret.
Yeah.
Okay.
With adult themes.
Yes, some adult themes. Right, we'll chat to you guys for more after another Billy Trix track. What could you tell us about Run?
Well, this was her protest song about the Vietnam War, which she saw the photograph of the girl running with napalm burns all over her body, and she wrote the song in a moment of history.
Here it is.
Run, girl, run.
There she goes, boys. Billy Trix, Run, Girl, Run. Frances Barber vocal and Neil Tennant on guitar, we're told.
Yes, Malcolm, your producer, seemed to have noticed that.
Yes. Do you sit at home strumming a guitar?
I do. Sit at home strumming my guitar. Like Dylan from the Magic Roundabout.
People go, oh God, Neil's got the guitar out.
I actually bought a new guitar recently because Johnny, not to name drop guitarists, but Johnny Marr said, there's this fantastic guitar. It's a song machine.
Ooh.
It's got effects on it. It's acoustic guitar with EQ effects on it. Anyway, unfortunately, I haven't written a single song. I'm disappointed. But I do play it though, yes.
So that is the alternative. Jonathan Harvey's here, Frances Barber's here. Music with a K is the show they're talking about. It opens on August 5th at the Seven Rooms in Edinburgh until August 21st. The original musical that we were talking about, Closer to Heaven, returns to Above the Stag Theatre on July the 3rd till August 31st. Both contained adult themes, one more than the other. See both, see what you say. And we should say, of course, Pet Shop Boys headlining this year's Radio 2 in Hyde Park on Sunday, September the 15th. Yes. Head to our website for details on how to buy tickets. There you go. Now, people have been in touch with questions, so let's go. Frances, I used to love Silk. This is from Patrick in Ipswich. How did you prepare for the role of QC, and why did the series end with so many storylines unresolved? Because it was still popular. People really liked Silk.
I know, it's such a shame. It was because the writer, Peter Moffat, who's absolutely brilliant, he'd felt, because he was a barrister and he'd written North Square and he'd written lots of stuff about silks, I think he wanted to just go in another direction, and so he decided that to park it whilst it was still hot. We were all a bit disappointed about it because I loved playing it, but we did have proper QCs on the set, and they would help us exactly know how,
then you could
exactly
ignore
what we
them.
were supposed to do.
Is that how you do it? Well, I'm doing it like this.
I'm doing it like this. I know, there were a lot of them because I kept on putting my hands into my waistcoat pocket.
Yes, I remember you doing that.
And they said they wouldn't do that. And I went, I don't care because I think it looks nice. And I look thinner.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Jonathan, many congratulations for writing Gail's monologue in Coronation Street. It broke my heart. If you could resurrect a character from classic Corrie to write for, who would you pick and why? Simon from Pontefract.
Oh, well, I'd probably pick Blanche, because I just loved writing for her.
Yes.
Because she had the privilege of old age where she could be as rude as she wanted to.
Yeah.
Get away with it.
And are you still enjoying Coronation Street? Is it endlessly interesting?
No, I hate it.
You know what I mean? But
I am. Yeah. It's I would say it's a really nice team. I've been doing it 15 years now. Yes, I still get excited when they give me an episode, so I always said I'd leave. I mean, I've had time off. They've given me time off to do other things, so every couple of years I'd say, I'm still enjoying it.
And also, presumably, the longer you're there, the more sense of ownership you have over the characters.
You do a bit. I think it has its own challenges because you feel you sort of run out of ideas sometimes. But it's very cyclical, Coronation Street, because you have a different producer every 2 or 3 years, so the mood changes and things lift and things ebb away. So it's always
things sink.
Or flat on their face. But yeah, it's never boring.
Neil, Howard from Hackney says that your shows at the Royal Opera House last year were outstanding. How long did you and Chris spend creating the show, and how hard is it to capture the scale of it on the small screen? Is this because you're doing the
films come out of it on DVD? I think
okay.
that's what you maybe saw about. Well, we work with various people, with Stuart Price on the music, and Ez Devlin designs it, and we have a choreographer called Lynn Page.
I know Lynn.
You know Lynn.
And in fact, I've met Ez as well.
She's choreographed you when you were in... MUSIC, yes. Casual Font. Yeah. And so we put it together, between about 6 of us. And it's always fun doing it. We normally have an idea which we reject. And on this one we didn't. Ez said, Neil, you've normally rejected one of my ideas by this point. And but this one, it went very easily. And I think it's my favourite show we've done because we have musicians who are really great to be with. And the sound was sort of bigger. And I don't know, and also big in the Royal Opera House.
Yeah.
Originally, we were going to do a 90-minute dance piece, and I think it was Ez that...
with your hips.
It was Lynn, or Lynn or Ez said, you don't want to do that. So we were going to do the dance. We were going to do the dancing. And we decided to play against the venue. So in other words, it was all banging and lasers. We weren't trying to be the Royal Ballet, and it was a great idea. And it was we did it in 2 years, and also, it's just a great vibe to be there. And the people were so nice. All the people working there just loved this.
And when you do something like the Hyde Park, Radio 2 Hyde Park game, where you're just, you're in a lineup, so you can't, there's only so much.
Well, it's a festival.
Yeah, so only so much Pet Shop Boys you can insert. How do you approach a gig like that?
Well, you have your production, but you have a touring version of it that you can get on the stage. You normally get 40 minutes to change around between groups, and so you just have to hope that your people are going to get it all working. And there's obviously so much technology has to come in, but so it's like playing a festival.
Trevor from Coventry wants to know, Frances, I loved you as Madame Kovarian. Is that correct? Yes, Frances is nodding. In Doctor Who. How much of the wibbly-wobbly time plot did you understand? And how many eye patches do you keep? Do people on Doctor Who take it very seriously, or can you laugh at it while you're doing it?
Well, The production take it very seriously. I mean, I did keep asking Matt Smith what was going on, and he just said, don't worry your little head with that. But I feel as if I can come back, because apparently every single villain can regenerate. So I was only really supposed to be in about 3 episodes, but they liked the characters so much, so they wrote me in, and I loved doing it. And Matt was fantastic. I thought he was the perfect Doctor in a way, because he could either look 20 or 200. You know, he's got one of those amazing faces, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I absolutely love doing it, and I'd love to go back. And I love Jodie Whittaker. I think she's fantastic.
She is really seamless,
She's
I thought.
fantastic.
Seamless. Jonathan. This is Anna from Kendal. I have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Oh. Each summer for the past few years, I've looked forward to spending my holiday with one of your books, my favourite being The History of Oz. I've just gone on a well-known book site to buy your next one. There isn't one. Why? Did you get the block? Did you get the block?
No, I just, it's really hard writing novels. And I was making more money out of television than novels. I sort of, it was laziness really. But yeah, I'd have ideas. So I sort of said I didn't want to do a...
Because you were doing one a year.
Yeah, I did 6 in
that's
6 years.
Crazy.
So I wanted a break, which, funnily enough, coincided with the publishers not offering me another deal. So.
Well, that all worked out.
Yeah, but it was my idea. So now I'm quite thrilled.
But will you go back to it, do you think?
It's like, well, yeah, if I have an idea, I would, yeah. But at the moment,
Don't write a book if you don't have an idea.
Yeah, but it takes up so much of my time, and I'm being really creative with coming up with new TV stuff at the moment. I'm really enjoying that.
Oh, excellent.
And it's less lonely when you do TV.
Neil, this is James from Portsmouth. Came to see your Alan Turing work at the Proms. Fascinating, very moving. What did you discover about him that you didn't know, and might that piece have another life?
Well, I didn't really know very much about him at all beforehand. And Chris and I both read this huge biography by Andrew Hodges, who then collaborated with us on the piece. And also, I am the most unscientific person imaginable, and obviously there's a ton of science in the story.
Yes.
We actually have been approached by a European conductor who wants to bring it back with visuals, and so we have a discussion going on about that.
It may live again.
It may return.
Do you stutter during the show?
No, because he did.
Yes.
Well, no, actually, because the show has
a very good question.
The show has a narration, but I didn't do it. We got Juliet Stevenson to do it.
I can't believe you didn't ask me.
Juliet Stevenson.
And Frances, she was very good.
I bet she was. Did she stutter?
She didn't stutter.
This interview's gone south.
We're going for lots of...
Let's stop it now. Francis, Jonathan, Neil, thank you so much. Music with a K. It opens on August 5th in Edinburgh. It's there till the 24th. Closer to Heaven is above the Stag Theatre in London. July 3rd to August 31st. Both contain adult themes. And Pet Shop Boys are Radio 2 in Hyde Park, September 15th. Thank you so much for coming in to see us.
Thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Enjoy your holiday.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I am. Bye.
BBC Radio